Hey guys. Hi all. I'm going to use this correctly. David's so nice. He got me a mic. How's everybody doing? Tell me if this is too loud or not. I'm still trying to figure this out. Today we're going to have on a member. Hi Cynthia, how's it going? So good to see you, girl. I am going to have Nick on here. I forgot to send him the link, so that was my bad. But he will be on here momentarily to talk to us about how he has scaled his business with DealMachine. It has been crazy. Oh, here he is. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Elise. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so sorry. I totally meant to send you that link before, like a minute before. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm the woat.
Not a problem.
How's it going? How are you doing?
Well, I came through the flu last week, I think. I was down for about 5 days with a fever. So it was kind of crazy. I just did nothing but sleep.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least you could sleep.
Yeah. I was able to get up for like 5 or 10 minutes and then lay back down. And I literally spent six days, better part of 6 days in bed.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you're feeling better though. You
Me
look
too.
great.
Yeah, it's
Like,
awesome. No, I'm back to normal. I'm little hanging on cough, but all is well.
good. Well, I'm so excited to have you on here. Cynthia hit 200 deals. Yay! On your way, girlfriend. Cynthia just started. And Cynthia says she's glad you're doing better, Nick.
Oh, I see that. Thank you, Cynthia.
So, guys, I'm really excited to have Nick on here because he is an enterprise member with us, also one of my favorite members to talk to. And I'm not just saying that.
Uh-huh.
But could you first just start off, like, I know your background, but kind of tell everyone else, like, when you got into real estate investing and how long you've been doing it, because you're kind of a veteran at this. So
That's all this doesn't come from good deals. I started back when I was 21 years old. Got my real estate license back then. So that was back in the, I can say the 80s. Yeah, that would be good. Early 80s. And at that time got into the apartment rental business. So I had my own place back then. I became a real estate broker. Had an apartment rental service and an apartment management company. I owned a little over 150 units with multiple partnerships, and then managed another over 1,500 for other people for a fee, and then would rent an apartment for anybody that would pay us a commission to do that. So it was a long time ago. There was no such thing as flipping. There was no such thing as cable television. There was no HGTV. There was nothing. No flipping or flopping.
no flipping or flopping.
No such thing. So I've been at it for a long time, and I was out of the business then for years and years, a couple decades, quite frankly. And about a year and a half ago, felt called to jump back in and did. So,
And why did you start driving for dollars? Like, why did you decide to do it that way instead of, like, people say list pulling and stuff?
I don't know, no particular reason. I had come across you guys online. My first deal when I went back in, I was one that I had just had an eye on in my neighborhood that I watched and finally went out and chased it. It was a forever deal. It took 9 months from the time I made my first offer till we closed on it, and then 9 months to rehab it. It was a huge project. Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a great deal. I wish they were all that profitable. That would be really awesome. So that's always been my norm. since the beginning of time, I drive around and my eye is caught by things that are out of place. And so when I saw the software, I thought, this is sweet, makes it easy, and jumped in and started driving.
So how many deals have you done with DealMachine?
2 complete.
And are you, and you talked about how you were flipping. Do you do any wholesaling?
Oddly enough, the 2 complete are both wholesale deals. Yeah. So I had never really done that in the past. No, zero experience as a wholesaler, if you will. I was, back when I started, I was a fix and holder, and I would hold things for 4 or 5 years and then sell them. So the 2 that, the one that I did, it's kind of crazy. So the 200 deals was actually kind of a weird magic mark. You guys say you got to get 200 when you get to 200, but if you get 200 deals in there, you'll get a deal. I thought, oh, yeah, okay, sure. So I started adding, and I'm watching, and no lie, the day after I add my 200th property, I get my first phone call from a little old lady who's very angry at me for taking a picture of her house in the dark. So that was my first call, but nonetheless, I'm a sales guy from way back. That didn't obviously did for me. So I got a call from another gentleman whose mother had passed away. He was one of the very first properties I put in. I started right around the beginning of October last year, and it was months later when he called, and we were able to put together a deal, and we wholesaled it and turned it in 2 weeks, and that was awesome. Since then, I've been getting, and it is no lie, in the last couple of weeks, just kind of gone crazy. I've gotten 6 calls in the last week. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. So
is it all off of your mail marketing?
Yeah, it's all off of DealMachine is the only thing I do. So right now it is literally my only tactic. I haven't. I've taken to. I've got a couple folks that are driving for me. I've had limited success there, but they're out and doing okay. Most of the deals come from my own work. So we've got. We are working on 2 right now. Working on that did not come through DealMachine. They were both wholesale deals that we bought from other wholesalers. And then I've got. We just signed a contract on one that I did get from DealMachine literally this week. And the weirdest thing, out in my little town out here, I've got 3 houses on the same street.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of weird. So one we bought from the wholesaler. We started with that one. Now I'm up and down the street, so I'm taking pictures as I'm driving. I got a call from another one from a gentleman that we just got under contract. And then I just got a call from another lady, which is right in between these 2 on the street. And her father-in-law is in the nursing home, and they have to sell it. County's making them sell it.
So one of the things I have used from talking to you is, we always talk about distressed properties, but one of the deals that you found that you were like, it wasn't even that distressed, but can you tell people why you added it?
I suppose I could share my screen. It was, there is some of this that I think is just intuition in your gut. And I drove by it, and I just knew that was a little old lady's house. I just knew it was. It had an old couch out in front of the house. And if you're my age, you would know the pattern on the couch. It was this kind of, what's the color back then? Pinkish. Now the name of the color leaves my head. But and the pattern just said to me, that's an 80s couch. That's not just an old couch. That's a 1980s couch sitting out in the front by the garbage, and had a had a cement cat on the porch right by the front door. It wasn't really beat up, had a really old grandpa car, big old, like a Lincoln Mercury, I think maybe a Mercury, an old Mercury in the driveway. Car like I could drive now, because now I'm an old grandpa. big 4-door car. And so I took a picture and went about my ways. So I am more inclined, as I look through, if in my area up here in Minneapolis, most of the public records data is pretty complete. So if I don't see a recent sale, if there's no sale date, that means they've owned it a long time, 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I'm inclined to add those, even if they're not terribly beat up. If I just see that they're unkempt or whatever, and if I know people have owned them a long time, I just put them in and put them in and put them in. So that's what we do.
Yeah, no. So I referenced you yesterday when I was virtually driving for dollars, because I saw an old like metal awning that was over the house that was like the every other color was like green or white. And I was like, Nick would totally tell me to add that house. And so
I would add that house.
I even told them, I was like, it's not super beat up or anything. It looks fine. The grass is kept well, but like, this is an old house.
Yep.
Like, and they ended up, it was the sell date was like 78, I think.
Wow. Yep. Yep.
So I was like, send in a postcard.
Let her rip.
Catherine is wondering where are you getting your contract? You said that you weren't planning on wholesaling, but where did you get your contract for assignment and everything?
We've done multiple things. I mean, if you poke around online enough, you can find enough people giving you enough free stuff to last you a lifetime. I ended up joining our local RIA here. They call it MINRIA in Minnesota, Real Estate Investors Association. They've been very, very helpful. They're a very large, very active organization up here. Great training. I can't say that every RIA is going to be like mine. But when we do we're not doing in-person meetings right now, but when we do our in-person monthly meeting, there's over 200 people in the room. I mean, it's huge.
That's probably the biggest I've heard. At least Indianapolis, I don't even think is that big.
No. So they've been very helpful. I have a partner, a real estate partner, business partner that is licensed now. That's going okay. Sometimes it slows us down some, but it's okay. So now we have access to MLS contracts and the whole smash. But
I'm trying to find David's assignment contract because he has it that I'll put in the comments here.
Perfect.
Are you looking to still be flipping then? Or those just wholesale deals you were just like, well, I don't really feel like flipping? Or do you want to, are you still flipping?
No, my passion is turning junk into something nice. So, I mean, we're working on 2 flips right now. The one we put under contract yesterday, I will put out on as a wholesale deal, but I intend to flip that one. We just kind of take them as we come. The second one that we did was very interesting. We sent a contractor over, one of our contractors, and he called me back and said, my wife and I want to buy that house. So we said, okay, you can have it. So it's kind of a wholesale deal, sort of.
Sort of.
Sold to an end user. We literally owned it for 10 days. And did nothing to it. We didn't even order a dumpster. We did nothing. And he's going to take it and do it himself instead of doing it for us. So we made good money on that one, and he's very happy. He got a great deal. we kind of just decided not to look back on that one. We have a, I don't know, we have a different kind of life out here in our little country, Minneapolis area. Just a very nice guy, young couple, 4 kids. I really, really like him, his wife, and his kids. And we would have made a lot more money had we flipped it, but he wanted it and was able to pay cash. So it just went away. We made $20,000. So
I mean, that's not a bad chunk of change.
not a bad chunk of change. It took. It was a long deal. I mean, some of these deals take a while. It seems to me, to get them. I mean, I work these things for a while. I've got all kinds of just story after every phone call is a story.
That's what I love too,
right?
is that I feel like I get really good stories from you just from your some of your deals that are the longest are just like, it's a learning experience though, even for you who's been in it for a long time. You're like, it's always something new. We do have a cold calling question. I'm guessing in your time you've done cold calling?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So wanted some advice to break the ice if they're unsure if they want to sell to being a wholesaler?
Well, I don't usually talk to people about wholesaling. I usually approach everyone as a buyer, and so I'm kind of straight to the point. I call people and say, "Hi, I know this might be a little bit odd out of the blue, but I'm calling about your house at 123 Main Street, and I'm wondering if you would ever consider selling it or looking at a cash offer for your place," and see what they say.
I find that calling out the awkwardness is always the best thing, because then
they've never met me. They don't know why I'm calling them. So I'm just kind of straight to the point, and they say what they say, and we take it from there.
I love it. Hi, Clinton. Hi, and Cynthia says nice.
Nice.
Nice. So, do you have designated, I mean, last time I talked to you, you were in the car driving for dollars.
Yes.
But do you have a set schedule of when you go driving to make sure that you're filling your pipeline up consistently?
I wish I could say I did. I do not. I do many, many, many things. So I've got really 3 businesses that I run. And so we've got a used car lot that my son runs full time. I'm involved in that. And so I'll be beating around, helping him from time to time. I have a full-time job. I work for a place called, I'm actually, look, I'm the home manager. Yeah. So I sell advertising full-time for a living. And then I do the flipping. I wish I could say it was on the side, but they're all 3 full-time. So when I've got time, when I get into a neighborhood, I'm working a deal right now with a guy. I happen to go to my credit union, which is kind of out of my way. I've been a member there from when I first moved up here to the cities, and they're very inconveniently located for me. But I went there to do a little piece of business, and when I was done, I thought, I'm all the way over here. I know this is an old 50s post-war neighborhood. I'm going to go drive around. I drove around for 3 hours. I added 75 properties, and I got a phone call from a guy, back off of that, one of those, one of those places. So I kind of do it where I am as I am. When I've got time, I just do it.
Because you have that, you obviously have that entrepreneurial spirit, because you have had businesses, What would you say is the hardest part, or things that people need to, I'm trying to word this right, be consistent with when you're becoming an entrepreneur? Because I feel like you can get wrapped up in so many different things. And when people get started, it's like, well, I could be doing this, I could be doing this. Like, what do we need to focus on to make a business successful?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for this business, I mean, just flat out getting started. I've had a couple guys that have called me about driving for dollars that are, real estate agents and wannabe guys, and in the end, they don't really want to do anything, and so that's your choice, it's okay. So I think in this business, there has to be at least some sense of fearlessness in that, just get out, add the properties, drive, send the mail, and trust the process. If you're in the right kind of neighborhood, which is the first trick, and you have a decent eye for this, which isn't rocket science, and you add enough properties, you just have to trust the process that it's sales, it's a numbers game, and then make an offer. Just make an offer. It's one of the things that the guy that runs our RIA always preaches, and it's something I really appreciated from him early on. I was already back in and doing it, but I hear him tell people all the time, just find a motivated seller. Do that first. Everything else will take care of itself. So if you just trust the process, I guess is my best advice. Turning it into a business is really another story. There are a whole another set of skills to, I see these guys doing, 8, 10, 12 deals a month. I set a goal for myself for my first year to do 20. I'll have done, I count my own, I'll have done 2, 4, 6. I'm on my way to 8 or 9 under contract here in the first 6 months. So I don't know if I'll get to 20, but if I get them done and gone, who knows?
You're going to get to 20.
But that was just a number I just said. And literally just, people say, how'd you come up with 20? That sounds like a lot. And, I guess it might sound like a lot. Some people, it sounds like a lot, I guess. I just pulled it out of the air and said, that's how many I want to do.
Yeah. Yolanda, I know that you usually come out as a buyer, but for your wholesaling deals, I know that sometimes also it's like referral based, but how would you get cash buyers for your deals?
I actually use my RIA here as my primary source. So as part of what I pay them, I get a little website. I get some actual really nice tools from them as well. A tool set for that helped me develop an offer. And it takes me 5 or 10 minutes to put together an offer now.
That's awesome.
Literally, I walked through. I looked at 2 houses yesterday, and I just bought a gimbal. You know what a gimbal is? Stabilizer.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
$80. Here, it's right here. This is my preferred brand. I would recommend it to anybody. Get them at Best Buy. Literally, it's $80, and it'll hold the horizon very steady for you. And because I'm really planning on a lot more of this becoming virtual with this crazy time. So, I went to this nice lady's house. They're about my age. Their mom has passed away. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's, so I always have a lot in common with folks as I'm able to talk with them. And it took me literally 10 minutes I walked all the way around the house, walked through the house. We call them a rambler here. Could be a ranch home, probably. And are they ranches?
They are ranches in us.
Yeah, I think we had this talk. Yeah. So it was, a little 1,000 square foot foundation, 2 levels, basement, unfinished basement. It took me 10 minutes, literally. I have a 10-minute video that I walked through the house, filmed it all, and from that, it took me 10 minutes to prepare an offer.
That's awesome. I love that. What is the brand name? Catherine's wondering what the tool is called.
I can't pronounce it.
What? Just spell it for me.
ZHIYUN.
That is kind of strange.
Yeah, it's here. Maybe this is better. This is better. Smooth Q.
Smooth Q. And you can get it at Best Buy.
Best Buy, $80.
Best Buy. You're right, because that's like what you're gonna have to send to people is these videos. If you do like need to send it to buyers and stuff, you're gonna have good quality because no one's gonna want to walk through the house.
No, and the people, I mean, I find everybody's a little different. Everybody's situation is a little different, but especially when you're wholesaling now, it seems to me, people are a little hinky about people in and out of their homes. Even this one I just signed, the gentleman has cancer, and he's good. He's actually in remission right now. But he said, like, hey, can you just kind of stay out of my bedroom? Will you wear a mask and we just kind of stay out of my bedroom? I said, I'm going to walk in there. I'm with my camera. I'm going to wave it around like this and walk out if that's okay. And I will mask up. And he said, great. Anywhere else you want to go, do whatever you want. But he's just, he's nervous.
Well, right.
He'd be a guy that's in in a high risk category, and so that when I started this, and I never even have done it. I mean, when I started this, I always heard these stories about just have an open house, right? Just tell the seller you got to bring some contractors through, and you're going to bring a bunch of people through all at once so you can just get it done. I've never gotten to that, and today I think it would be hard to pitch that to somebody, quite frankly. So a friend of mine in Chicagoland does apartment videos. He said, this is the one you got to buy. I trust him. I've known him for 35 years. So, and I came out with great, smooth looking video, and it's going to take somebody else 10 minutes to walk through the property. They can stop and start the video, obviously, whatever they want to do, look around.
Well, and I feel like especially the fact that you could just kind of, since it's on an arm, you did just like kind of put it in there. You didn't touch anything in his room. You didn't, I think that makes them probably feel more at ease that you have a tool, and it does make you look professional. Like you're just like, most cameras take pretty good pictures now and video. So attaching it to that I'm going to have to look that up too. We actually we're having to do all of our videos remotely now, so I'm having to use my phone, so I got a ring light and looking like a dang blogger. Whatever it takes. I have a question that comes up a lot from members is, say a person calls you and you ask them what they want for the property, but they just keeps pushing, give me an offer, just give me an offer. And what do you say to that?
I say, okay.
And you just give them a number?
No. I typically tell them, that I need to come out and take a look at the property. And now I've sort of added in, and I did this once, which was yesterday, right? And so I've only done it once, where I said, hey, I've got my tool and I'm on my way, and I'll just walk through, and then we can talk on the phone after that. So I just tell them I really need to see it. I can get you an offer typically within 24 hours after my seeing it, and that if that works for you, I'd be happy to come out and take a look at it right now if I'm available.
Also, I wanted to, now I know this, but like, could you speak to your marketing? Like, how many times do you hit them? How often do you do it? Your postcards look fantastic because they're color coordinated with your logo. But like, how could you speak more to your like marketing tactics and how you get calls and what you find successful?
Yep. I've done the same thing since I started. I hit them 21 days apart, and I hit them 7 times. So, in 6 months or so, I hit them 7 times. When I started, I sent the same card all along. I then did some color coding with my. I got this very inexpensive website from my RIA that I used, and that had I chose, I had some templates. I chose color palette I liked. I'm moderately sophisticated on the PC, so sophisticated enough to point at that color, match it, get a color code, so I can always have the same codes. I know enough about design because I sell ads in magazines, and I've been in the advertising world for 40 years plus, I guess. So yeah, so then now just recently now I've moved to an actual campaign, a 7-time campaign.
And you have a wonderful picture of yourself on the postcards, which look great.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I don't have my picture on the postcards anymore.
Oh, did you take it off? Did you put it to the logo?
Yeah. I need to get a new photo. So for now I'm photo less at the moment, but it's apparently working. I'm getting more calls since I took my ugly mug off. Maybe it was a problem. I'm not sure.
I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, I'm doing it now where I'm testing it. I did my logo. I got a lot of calls, and then I put my photo on, and it was like, meh. Now I do it every other one since you can have multiple signatures on Enterprise. So I'm like, well, I'll just hit them with both. Maybe that they do like it. Maybe they don't.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea.
I can speak to all the peoples.
Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to launch a new brand as well. So,
man, Nick, you don't just have like three jobs and now you want to launch a new brand.
it'll be more of the same. Right now, my current partner and I do this together, and this is all we use. But I signed up with Carrot, and I picked
love Carrot.
I picked a new brand. My daughter did a caricature for me. So should I show it to you? Do you want a sneak peek?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can. I'll share it with you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Nick as a caricature.
Except I have to give a disclaimer because I've asked them to change it already. The folks that I had some folks digitize it and color it for me and pick a color palette for me. And when they did me as about a 30-year-old man, like with this very brown hair, which I had black hair. And I sent them a note and said, hey, my new brand is going to be Papa Buys Houses.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
That's what my grandkids call me.
That's so cute.
So let me share my screen. I don't have 2 monitors. Share screen. The whole screen.
Oh, there it is.
You can see me.
Oh my gosh. Look at you.
So I said, it's very nice, except my brand stands for experience, right? And wisdom. And I'm salt and pepper now, and mostly salt. So this brown hair has to go.
I was going to say he doesn't look like a papa.
No. I looked like that sort of when I was a young man. And then let's see what else I've got here. And then
oh, nice. Yeah, he needs that salt and pepper like a George Clooney look that you got going on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. So that I'm going to launch that as just an online only brand.
I love it. I think changing it to like the Papa Buys Houses, like the fact that you're a grandfather will definitely like make you have it such an in, and you work so well with like that older demographic that they feel comfortable with you, they can relate, and they can
Yep.
I think
Yep.
that's great. Do you have anything you want to say about, we're having questions about Carrot, and I know you just started with them, but I know Carrot from, I'll just tell y'all right now, I love Carrot because their team's really great, because I met them at We Live, and then we all became like really good friends.
Yep.
Trevor is great.
Yep.
So could you speak to like what it helps you with if some people don't know what Carrot is? Do you want to talk on that?
Well, I don't know that I can yet. I literally haven't started. I put up my site, used all my new colors. I haven't really pushed it yet because I want to get my salt and pepper look out there. But it is I guess their shtick, if you will, in a nutshell, is to find motivated sellers that will look for you as opposed to the other way around. So I view my DealMachine very much as a push kind of marketing. I'm, do you want to sell? 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 Where Carrot is much more of, if you will, an internet billboard, right? Where we're just out there saying, we buy stuff, and if you want to sell your stuff, call us. And in some ways it sounds the same, but it's not. I mean, to me, it's two very different things. So they have, I was vice president of Interactive here at the newspaper. I ran StarTribune.com up here for 4 years as a VP for the newspaper. I get online better than most guys my age. And they have what I would consider to be an awesome program. I'm going to have to work it. It's not, well, they have some programs where you can just pay them to do stuff for you. I don't have enough money right now to do that. So I will be doing that. It's one of the reasons I also wanted to buy my gimbal, because I want to be putting up a lot of videos of myself, with properties. So I guess that's what I know in a nutshell. I don't have a lot. I have zero experience with them so far.
Well, I love that you're going to start that. I know Max Maxwell speaks to Carrot a lot. He does it. So if y'all want to look at that too, I know he has some videos with them.
Trevor does a great job. I mean, he's always, if I spend a lot of time watching things, try to get as much information for free as I possibly can. I would say right now, if you're, stuck at home, fill your brain, right? Knowledge is power, and just fill your brain. I listen to stuff all the time. There are sometimes I listen to things and I think that's dumb. I'm not doing that. I mean, I know you're saying it's really smart. It sounds dumb to me. I will set that one single piece aside, by the way. I will not set that human aside and their other advice, because they may say 5 other things that I think that, okay, I like that, I'll do that. So I've learned over the years not to discount people because they say one thing I don't agree with, and just to sort of take it as a whole. So I'm constantly watching things.
What are you watching right now?
I can't say that I watch any one thing right now. I watch Trevor a lot, from Carrot. I do watch Max. Let me think of some of the other guys here. I'll give you some. I get so many of them, I can't even remember all of them.
I just got to say, I got to give you props on being like tech savvy, because like even people my age don't know how to share a screen. So the fact that you were like, here, let me share my screen on this platform you've never used before, and you knew how to do it, I was like, wow, this is great.
Yeah. I like Jerry Norton a lot. If you're familiar with Jerry.
I am not, but these are good ones for people to take notes on who to listen to.
Yeah. Jerry Norton has got a product called Flipster. I have, again, it's not one I've chosen to use, but it's, you'll hear him pitch it often. Again, I listen to him every time he pitches it. Every time he does something, he pitches his product, and I just don't buy it. I I get a lot of great information from him. Stephen Pesavento, Pesavento, does webinars and some things. I like him. He's a nice guy. Those are I guess some of them.
No, I love that. Speaking of webinars, I'm going to put my pitch in here. We have a webinar tonight, everybody, with our very own Josh Johnson and David Lecco. So they're going to talk about enterprise and, how to build your street team. We do have a question. And I know you said you've had, and I know we've talked about how you've had difficulties with drivers, but what are the best ways to get drivers and build your team, and where do you find them? I know yours are more, aren't they referral based?
Well, I just got a new one from Facebook, and it's kind of odd. I've both texted and called and never gotten in touch with them. Signed up. So that's where, to me, it gets a little weird. But I have a Facebook page. Should I share that with you?
Oh yeah.
Why not? Why not? I can share.
Yeah, you can.
Seeing as I'm showing off, I might as well.
Here, I'll wait till that's up. Oh, JY is going to be on the webinar. Good. I'll be there too. I'll be in the background. All right. You got.
Okay. So there's my Facebook page. I just changed this, which I took right off one of my cards.
I love this.
I used to have one. I suppose it'll be down here somewhere. I had this used to be my picture up at the top, which was just with this guy holding his head and an old, picture of a beat up house that just said, "Hey, if you need help, we can help." I started out the first. Here, this was my first post. I took this again right off of your guys' stuff. Right, we're hiring, get paid to take pictures of houses, and I just put it out on Facebook, and that's I think the one you're referring to, Elise, was a young guy that is a friend of the family that signed up, and it's like, wow, I know him. It wasn't just like a stranger, and he's done okay. He's been a little busy right now, but he's gone out and he will drive, and I've gotten some calls off of some of his stuff. So, and then I did this one, which again was straight out of your materials, Elise. So,
yay, I like to hear that. And that's what's so nice about the enterprises. You just have them go through your link, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, just for those who are just coming on, Nick's a part of our enterprise group. You get a landing page for people to sign up. I love that you put the social distancing thing on there. So that way they can see that. It makes people feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
I think if anybody, just so you guys know, those COVID templates are on your DealMachine account. And if you have the campaign feature, definitely send that one out first. And you might even want to send it out again as a second time too, to hit it.
I do 2 COVID cards with a variation 1 and 2, a bunch of other cards, and then I hit the first one I do again last, is what I've got going on right now.
I love it. What would you say is your average? This will be my last question, but like average time of like from when you start mailers like to when they call. You didn't know?
It's kind of all over. I've had, like this one I described by I would say that was for sure my fastest one. He got the first card and called. That's not normal. I would say, 2, 3, 4 months in, I get plenty of calls from people saying, look, I don't want to sell my house. And again, I would argue, please don't let that bother you. Don't let that discourage you. I end every one of those calls with, please hang on to my postcard, and if you ever change your mind, call me. I take them off the list. I'm very nice to them. I'm very accommodating, but there's a call's a call. And
right.
I've taken to asking as well, do you have another property you want to sell? If it's not this one, do you have anything else? Pick that one up from the guys at TTP.
Hey, TTP's another one that you should, all check out.
Forgot about that one. Yeah, I listen to them as well. So yeah, I would say most often it's months. You got to get them in a rhythm. They need to see you. They need to know you're still hitting them up. I'm not sure I've just started the campaign here fairly recently. And since I've done that, my calls have picked up quite a bit. It's been crazy. I literally had, on Saturday, I was sick in bed. I got 3 calls on Saturday.
That's music to my ears.
Right? That's crazy. To me, it's like, wow, this is, I've got deals working. I got a call from a little old lady. It was actually one of this young guy had done, my drivers had done. He's taken to doing these absentee owners, and we're doing some of those just with street picks as well. So I do that from time to time. And this was one of those. It's a nice house. They're in Las Vegas at their winter home. They've already bought a new condo here. When they come home, they want to list this particular house. And we're just waiting for him to get back, and we're going to go take a look at it, and we'll take a swing at it. I don't know.
So why did if it's a nice house, why did he add it? Were there like certain signs about it?
He was just doing absentee owners.
Oh, I love it. Of course, by you guys, someone would have a summer home because no one wants to spend the winter up there.
Yeah. So honestly, I don't know that we'll even have a shot at this one. They're very nice people. Talk to them a lot now. They're probably going to want close to retail for it, but I'll go look at it and I'll make them an offer, and either it'll work or it won't.
Right. I think that's the other thing is when we were talking, it's just a lot of deals do fall through and you can't get discouraged with that. It's always like, there's always going to be that one though, eventually that's going to stick. Catherine does ask how much you spend on your marketing. I don't know if you're comfortable with saying that or not.
Sure. Well, so far, should I share? Can I just share my analytics?
Sure.
Do you care? I don't care.
I don't care. That's on you.
All right, I'll share.
Because this is just so great. You're my first guest to ever, one, asked to share the screen, and 2, know how to do it. So.
All right. So here's my back end. Here's my analytics. And I was looking at this before I got on because I was hoping you'd ask me this.
Oh, good.
So this is since the beginning of time. So this is, for me, beginning of time was October 1st of 19. So I'm just 7 months in. So in 7 months, we've added just shy of 950 properties.
And this is all organic driving for dollars.
Yes. Correct. So we've sent out 3,600 postcards. We've made 28,750 so far on our 2 deals.
Yes, sir.
My total investment's been $4,800. There's the answer to her question.
And look at those miles driven. 221 miles driven.
I will tell you, we have driven more than this.
I believe it.
It's one of the things we have a little bit of trouble up with here is just kind of falling on and off. And I do a lot of my work kind of off the beaten path as well. So I'm not always in a great internet area. So I pop on and off of the network. So,
and see, oh, can you leave it there for a minute, guys? I want you to see. So, you have like your deal statuses to where we can actually see Nick like following up with 9 offers sent to. I know you said you have to update this last time I talked to you, but
this is pretty close now.
Yeah. So this is like how you guys can keep track of where you're at. So keeping organized in DealMachine, using it as your like light CRM. So that way you're knowing what's going on with these deals. This is great. I'm so glad you shared this. I'm so glad you had it prepared to share.
Hey, look at that. So I guess my bottom line is I'm going to call it $5,000 and I brought in 28,000. All I really want to know is how many times a day could I do this?
Yeah.
Right. And I've got well more than this working in the pipeline for this same investment. So
this is also a man who's working 3 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Running businesses left and right. I really, really appreciate you coming on here, Nick, and sharing this. I always enjoy our talks, and hopefully we'll be able to have you on again because I really appreciate this.
Well, you're welcome. By the time I get back on here, I'll have another 4 deals done.
You better, because you got to reach the 20 by your 1 year.
Yeah.
It's Catherine says, yeah, Mr. Nick is really prepared. He is. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you again, Nick, and I'll talk to you soon.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Good luck out there.